Many of you may have some immune dysfunction, and many of them are based in what we look at as the inability of your body to determine what is you and what is not. So we call these autoimmune diseases. So this means that your immune system has not learned what cells are yours and what cells are invaders. So it starts to attack you. And when it does, of course, all kinds of chaos can ensue. We look at attacking joints, cartilage, structures of connective tissue. When we look at this, we look at things like arthritis. We look at autoimmune diseases that attack your pancreas. We look at insulin production affected there. So if the immune system attacks your pancreas, you don't make insulin, you have diabetes. We've got multiple sclerosis that attacks nerves, and particularly looking at coverings of the nerves. Lupus, there are tons of these. And these are different, though, than what we look at with immunodeficiency diseases. So when we look at immunodeficiency diseases, essentially we're looking at the opposite. The immune response is absent or defective. So instead of having an immune response targeting your cells, we now have an immune response that doesn't work. So we look at issues associated with your immune response, with physical stress and weakness and so on. Now, when we look at things like when you're very tired, everyone gets sick in exam week. Why is that? You're tired, you don't have enough nutrients, your cells are exhausted, and then you get exposed to some sort of pathogen that under normal conditions you would have been able to fight off very quickly. But because you are a weakened state, you end up with this infection. Happens every time, right? So you're much more likely to get sick during exam week. Do any of you have allergies? I know I do. They're terrible. And what is happening is your body is essentially saying that your dog is dangerous to you. The dust is dangerous to you. Flowers are dangerous to you. Everything is dangerous to you. Okay? And what's happening is your body is essentially mounting a full-on immune response to something dumb like dust or your cat or pollen. Okay? And what's happening is that innate immunity that we saw before. Mast cells are produced, huge numbers of them. They send out the antihistamines that we talked about, are in response to the histamines released by the mast cells. So antihistamines are going to combat those, we hope, to decrease your immune response, which in this case with your innate immune response, we look at swelling, watery eyes, nose, congestion, all of those things. This is all just an overreaction of your body to something dumb. The dumb are listed at the bottom. We look at a lot of new allergies coming out, a lot of food allergies people are developing over time, things like wheat and peanuts and things like that, tree nuts. And the thing with allergic reactions is it typically happens very, very fast to a tiny amount of the allergen. So it really is your body going haywire, trying to fight against something like a flower. And the whole idea is these allergy symptoms are really two-stage. First, you get essentially exposed and may not have any kind of response at all. But then the second time you get exposed, and multiple times that you're getting exposed, the response of the mast cells increases. So people talk about over the course of their lifetime developing allergies that seem to be worse and worse every year. And the idea is your immune system is learning that for it, things like dust and pollen are bad. So every time you're exposed to them, it increases your immune response in that stronger and faster way, like we saw with the secondary exposure. It's the same thing. You are making antibodies to flowers or whatever you're allergic to. You get exposed again, histamine goes up, we keep building, so every time the immune response would go up and up and up. Just like it's a secondary exposure that we saw before.